Have you ever felt like you were in the wrong place at the wrong time? Like your life was a series of events you couldn't control? Esther felt the same. She was an orphan turned queen in a land that did not know her God. Last time we opened Esther's diary for the first time. We watched Vashti deposed for saying no. We watched Esther, an orphan, an exile, a Jewish girl with a secret, taken to the palace and made queen. We watched Mordecai sit at the gate every day, faithful and unnoticed. And we watched Haman, elevated, proud, furious at one man's refusal to bow, obtain a decree to destroy every Jewish person in the empire. Esther didn't know yet. Today, she finds out. And today, she makes the choice that defines everything. Entry 5. The message. Esther 4, 1-14. Mordecai's message reached me through Hathach, one of the king's eunuchs. He told me everything. The decree, the death sentence, 127 provinces, every Jewish man, woman, and child. He sent a copy of the written decree to me so that I could see it myself. He told me to go to the king, to beg for mercy, to plead for my people. I sent a message back. I said, everyone in the palace knows that for any man or woman who approaches the king in the inner court without being summoned, the law is death. Death. Unless the king extends his golden scepter. I had not been summoned in 30 days. 30 days. I want you to understand the geometry of my situation. I was the queen, and I could not simply walk in to see my husband. That is not sentimentality or timidity. That is the law of Persia. The same law that deposed Vashti for a smaller infraction. And Mordecai, my cousin, my father, the man who walked in front of the harem every day just to know that I was alive, sent back the most important words anyone has ever said to me. He said, do not think that because you are in the king's house, you alone of all the Jews will escape. He said, if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance for the Jews will arise from another place. And then he said the words, who knows whether you have not come to the kingdom for such a time as this? I read it once. I put it down. I picked it up again and read it again. For such a time as this. Not, you are here by accident. Not, you are here by luck. Not, you are here because you are beautiful and the king chose you. You are here because this moment needed someone exactly like you. Placed, positioned, prepared by a God whose name I could not yet say out loud in this palace, but whose hand I could feel, rearranging everything. I made my decision. I sent my answer back to Mordecai. I said, go, gather all the Jews in Susa and fast for me. Do not eat or drink for 3 days, night or day. I and my attendants will fast as well. And then I said the words I will carry for the rest of my life. I said, when this is done, I will go to the king, even though it is against the law. And if I perish, I perish. Entry 6. The door. Esther 5:1-8. On the third day, I put on my royal robes. I want you to notice that detail. Not sackcloth, not mourning clothes, my royal robes. I was not going to the king as a beggar. I was going as his queen. Whatever happened on the other side of that door, I would walk through it with everything I had. I stood in the inner court. I could see the king on his throne in the royal hall. He could see me. The whole world shrank to that corridor. Every person I had ever been, the orphan, the exile, the girl with the secret, the woman who had been taken and prepared and crowned, every version of me was standing in that doorway. And I waited. The king saw me. He extended the gold scepter. I approached and touched the tip of it. He said, "What is it, Queen Esther? What is your request? Even up to half the kingdom, it will be given unto you." I could have said it then, but I didn't. I had fasted for 3 days. I had prayed. I had thought about this more carefully than I had thought about anything else in my life. And I understood something about power. You do not rush it. You do not show your hand immediately. You build. I said, if it pleases the king, let the king and Haman come today to a banquet I have prepared. First banquet, then a second. And at the second banquet, in the warmth and the wine, with Haman present and the king attentive and the moment exactly right, then I would ask. Some people call this manipulation. I call it wisdom. Esther was not just brave, she was strategic. She understood that courage without strategy is just noise. Entry 7. Haman's Gallows. Esther 5:9-6-14. Haman left the first banquet in high spirits, and then he saw Mordecai at the king's gate, still not bowing. All his joy evaporated. He went home and gathered his friends and his wife Zeresh and told them about his wealth and his position and how the king had honored him and how Esther had invited only him to her banquet. But, he said, all of this means nothing to me as long as I see Mordecai the Jew sitting at the king's gate. His wife and friends said, have a pole set up, 75 feet high, and ask the king in the morning to have Mordecai impaled on it. Haman was delighted. He had the pole erected. That night, the king could not sleep. He ordered the book of Chronicles to be read to him. And they read to him about Mordecai. the man who had uncovered the assassination plot, the man who had saved his life. The king said, "What honor and recognition has Mordecai received for this?" His attendant said, "Nothing has been done for him." At that moment, Haman arrived at the palace. He had come to ask for Mordecai to be hanged. The king called him in. He said, "What should be done for the man the king delights to honor?" Haman thought to himself, "Who would the king delight to honor more than me?" He described an elaborate public honor. The king said, "Go at once. Do all of this for Mordecai the Jew." Haman had come to arrange a hanging. He left to arrange a parade for the man he hated most. I did not know any of this was happening, but God did. The same silent, sovereign God who had placed an orphan on a throne was rearranging everything else as well. In the middle of the night, through an insomniac king and a book of forgotten records. He never sleeps. He never stops working. Even when we cannot see him, God is still working. Entry 8. For such a time as this. Esther 7, 1-10, Esther 8, 1-17. At the second banquet, the king asked again, "Queen Esther, what is your petition? It will be given to you." And this time I answered. I said, "If I have found favor with you, Your Majesty, and if it pleases you, please grant me my life. This is my petition. And spare my people. This is my request. For I and my people have been sold to be destroyed, killed, and annihilated." The king said, "Who is he? Where is he, the man who has dared to do such a thing?" I said, "The adversary and the enemy is this vile Haman." Haman was terrified. The king left in fury. Haman threw himself on the couch where I was reclining to beg for his life. The king returned and saw him. He said, "Will he even molest the queen while she is with me in the house?" One of the king's attendants said, "A pole of 75 feet high stands at Haman's house. He had set it up for Mordecai, who saved the king." The king said, "Impale him on it." They hanged Haman on the pole he had built for Mordecai. But the decree was still in effect. Laws of Persia cannot be revoked. So I went to the king again. I fell at his feet and wept. I begged him to issue a new decree allowing the Jewish people to defend themselves. He extended the gold scepter. I rose. I asked. A new decree went out. The Jewish people could assemble and protect themselves. On the day Haman had designated for their destruction, they were ready. They defended themselves. They survived. Every single province. I think about the moment I stood in that doorway. The gold scepter extended or not extended. Life or death. And I think about what Mordecai said. Who knows whether you have not come to the kingdom for such a time as this. I know now. I know because I was there. An orphan, a nobody. A girl with a secret in a palace that was never meant for her. Placed exactly where a whole people needed her to be. Not by accident, not by luck, not even by beauty, but by a God who sees the end before the beginning, who places the right person in the right place at the right moment, and then waits to see if they will walk through the door. Esther walked through the door. She is the only woman in the Bible, apart from Ruth, to have a book named after her. She was an orphan who became a queen, a nobody who saved a nation, a woman who was placed in an impossible situation and chose courage over comfort. She fasted for 3 days. She put on her royal robes. She stood in a doorway that could have meant her death, and she walked through it. The book of Esther never mentions God by name, but his fingerprints are on every page. The insomniac king, the book of records read at exactly the right moment, the orphan taken to exactly the right place, the cousin at the gate, the sceptre extended. Every detail arranged by hands that never sleep. If you are in a difficult position right now, if you have been placed somewhere that makes no sense, if you are standing in a doorway wondering whether to walk through it, listen to Mordecai. Who knows whether you have not come to the kingdom for such a time as this? You are not where you are by accident. You have been placed. The question is, will you walk through the door? If Esther's story spoke to you, subscribe and share it. Next time we open a brand new diary